Hello and welcome. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. When you woke up this morning, what was the very first thing you felt? Was it a sense of refreshment, of being ready to take on the day? Or was it something else? Was it a familiar stiffness in your knees? A creak in your hips as you swung your legs out of bed? A feeling in your shoulders or your back that made you think, oh boy, here we go again. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you are in exactly the right place. For millions of Americans, that morning stiffness has become an unwelcome but accepted part of life. And if you've ever told yourself, well, this is just part of getting older, I'm here today to respectfully and with the full backing of medical science, challenge that idea. My name is Doctor, and I've spent years working with patients who, just like you, are looking for real, practical ways to feel better in their own bodies without immediately reaching for a pill bottle. You might have clicked on this video because of the title, this idea of a 3-minute stretch that can re-lubricate your stiff joints. I want to be very direct about that from the start. Re-lubricate isn't a precise medical term you'll find in a textbook, but it points to something incredibly real, a powerful biological process that you have the ability to influence every single day. The truth is, your body has its own natural joint lubricant. It's called synovial fluid. And the key to unlocking its benefits, to encouraging your body to produce more of this incredible fluid, isn't some magic pill or an expensive gadget. It's something much simpler: gentle, intelligent movement. That's what we're here to talk about today. This isn't about pushing through pain or becoming a marathon runner overnight. It's about understanding the beautiful mechanics of your own body and learning how to work with them, not against them. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on why our joints get stiff in the first place. I'm going to explain the simple science behind what physical therapists call the motion is lotion principle. And most importantly, I am going to personally guide you, step by step, through a simple, safe, and incredibly effective 3-minute routine that you can start doing tomorrow morning. This isn't just about stretching. It's about waking up your joints the right way. We'll also cover the crucial difference between the types of stretches you should do to warm up and the types you should do after an activity, a distinction that even many younger folks get wrong. And finally, we'll discuss a few other simple lifestyle habits that support everything we're doing. My promise to you is that by the end of this video, you won't just have a routine. You'll have a new understanding of your body and a renewed sense of control over how you feel each and every day. So let's begin by tackling the big question: why do we get so stiff? Why does it feel like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, in desperate need of his oil can, has taken up residence in our knees and hips, especially after we've been sitting for a while or first thing in the morning? To understand this, I want you to picture the inside of a healthy joint, like your knee. It's a marvel of natural engineering. The ends of your bones are capped with a smooth, slippery, and resilient material called cartilage. Think of it like the glossy, protective coating on a brand new piece of furniture. This cartilage allows the bones to glide over each other with almost no friction. Now, bathing this entire joint is that special substance we mentioned earlier, synovial fluid. This fluid does two critical jobs. First, it acts as a lubricant, like oil in an engine, keeping everything moving smoothly. Second, it acts as a shock absorber and a nutrient delivery system. Your cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply, so it relies entirely on this synovial fluid to bring it the oxygen and nutrients it needs to stay healthy and repair itself. As we live our lives, two things tend to happen. First, the cartilage can begin to thin out and become less smooth. This is the wear and tear that doctors often talk about, and it's the hallmark of what's known as osteoarthritis. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, reports that over 32.5 million adults in the United States suffer from osteoarthritis. This isn't some rare condition. It's a massive, shared experience. When that cartilage thins, there's more friction in the joint, which can lead to inflammation, pain, and that feeling of stiffness. The second thing that happens, particularly when we are inactive for a period, like when we're sleeping all night, is that the synovial fluid can change. A great analogy I once heard from a colleague is to think of it like the oil in a car. When the engine is running and warm, the oil is thin and flows everywhere it needs to. But when the car sits overnight in the cold, the oil becomes thick and sludgy. Your synovial fluid is similar. When you're still, it can become more viscous or thicker. It also tends to pool and doesn't circulate as effectively. So when you wake up in the morning, your joints have less lubrication, the fluid itself is thicker, and your cartilage is essentially thirsty for nutrients. That combination is the perfect recipe for that stiff-as-a-board feeling. It's your body sending you a very clear signal. I need to move to get things flowing again. And that brings us to the most important principle of this entire discussion. This principle is something you'll hear from virtually every physical therapist and rheumatologist who specializes in joint health. It's a simple phrase, but it is profoundly important. Motion is lotion. Let that sink in for a moment. When your joints feel stiff and achy, your instinct might be to protect them, to keep them still, to avoid discomfort. It's a completely understandable impulse. But in most cases, it's the exact opposite of what your joints are crying out for. Gentle, controlled movement is the signal your body needs to start producing and circulating fresh synovial fluid. Movement warms the fluid up, making it less thick and more effective as a lubricant. It compresses and decompresses the cartilage. Think of squeezing and releasing a sponge. This action is crucial. It pushes out the old waste-filled fluid and upon release sucks in fresh, nutrient-rich fluid. This is how your cartilage feeds itself and stays as healthy as possible. So, that creaking and groaning you feel isn't necessarily a sign to stop. It's a sign that the engine needs to warm up. The key, and this is critical, is the type of motion. We're not talking about running a sprint or lifting heavy weights from a cold start. That would be like revving a cold car engine to the red line. We are talking about gentle, repetitive, dynamic movements that take your joints through their comfortable range of motion. And that is precisely what our 3-minute routine is designed to do. It's not about achieving a deep, painful stretch. It is about lubrication. It's about sending a gentle wake-up call to your joints, telling them, it's time to start the day. Let's get the lotion flowing. So if you're ready, let's walk through this routine together. I want you to imagine doing this tomorrow morning, perhaps even before your feet hit the floor, or right after you stand up beside your bed. Find a spot where you have a little room and something sturdy to hold onto for balance, like a wall, a countertop, or the back of a solid chair. Safety is always our first priority. We're going to focus on the 3 major areas that often give people the most trouble: the hips, the knees, and the shoulders. We'll spend about 1 minute on each. Let's begin with the hips. Stand up tall, holding onto your support with one hand. Most start with your right leg. I want you to simply begin swinging your leg forward and backward, like a pendulum on a grandfather clock. Keep the movement smooth and controlled. We're not trying to kick the ceiling. This is not about how high you can go. It's about the rhythm and the motion within the joint itself. Start with a small swing, maybe just a foot forward and a foot back. As you continue, if it feels comfortable, you can gradually increase that range of motion. Breathe naturally. Inhale as you swing forward, exhale as you swing back. Let's do this for about 30 seconds. Just a gentle, easy swing. Now let's switch to the other side of the movement. Turn so you're facing your support, holding on with both hands if you need to. Now take that same right leg and begin swinging it from side to side across the front of your body. Again, start small. Let the leg swing gently to the left, across your body, and then out to the right. This is targeting different muscles and a different plane of motion in the hip joint. It's fantastic for improving that side-to-side mobility that we need for stable walking. Let's do this for another 30 seconds. And that's it. 1 minute for one hip. Now, you would repeat that entire sequence with your left leg. 30 seconds of forward and backward swings, and 30 seconds of side-to-side swings. By the end of this, you've spent 2 minutes sending a powerful signal to both of your hip joints to lubricate and prepare for the day. Next up, the knees. For this, you can remain standing and holding your support. We'll do a simple and gentle movement called knee flexion and extension. Stand on your left leg, again, making sure you are balanced and supported. Lift your right foot off the floor just a little bit. Now slowly bend your right knee, bringing your heel up towards your glutes, as if you're trying to kick yourself gently in the backside. Only go as far as it feels comfortable. You might feel a slight stretch in the front of your thigh. Then, slowly lower it back down. Let's repeat this. Bend the knee up and lower it down. This isn't a fast movement. It's a deliberate squeeze and release. As you bend the knee, you are compressing the cartilage. As you lower it, you are allowing it to decompress and soak up that fresh synovial fluid. Let's do this about 10 to 15 times on the right side, taking about 30 seconds. Now switch legs. Plant your right foot firmly, get your balance, and repeat with the left leg. Slowly bend the left knee, bring the heel up, and lower it back down. Again, for about 10 to 15 repetitions. This simple act is one of the kindest things you can do for stiff, creaky knees in the morning. You are manually helping the joint lubricate itself. Finally, let's move to the shoulders. You can do this standing or even sitting on the edge of your bed. Let your arms hang loosely at your sides. We're going to start with some simple shoulder circles. Raise your arms and begin to roll your shoulders forward in a circular motion. Make the circles as big or as small as feels good to you. Think about really moving the shoulder blade. Do this for about 15 seconds, just getting that rotation going in the joint. Now, reverse the direction. Roll your shoulders backwards, opening up your chest. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades together gently as you roll back. This feels wonderful after being hunched over in sleep. Another 15 seconds here. Now for the last part. Let's do some gentle arm circles. Extend your arms out to your sides, like an airplane. With your palms facing down, start making small, controlled circles forward, about the size of a dinner plate. Do this for about 15 seconds. You'll feel the warmth building in your shoulder muscles. Now, reverse it. Make small, controlled circles backward for the final 15 seconds. And that's it. You're done. Think about what we just did. In roughly 3 minutes, we have gently awakened and started the lubrication process in your hips, your knees, and your shoulders, all without a single jarring or painful movement. This is the essence of motion is lotion. This is a dynamic warm-up. It's called dynamic because it involves movement. It is the single best way to prepare your joints and muscles for the day ahead. All right, let's just take a quick pause here. We've covered the why behind morning stiffness and walked through the entire 3-minute dynamic routine to combat it. The core takeaway so far is that gentle movement is your friend. It's the key to unlocking your body's own natural lubricant. If you're finding this explanation helpful and you're feeling a bit more hopeful about managing that stiffness, I would be so grateful if you took just a single second to tap that like button below this video. It's a small click for you, but it tells YouTube that this information is valuable, and it helps get this message out to so many other people who might be feeling just as frustrated as you have been. Thank you so much for that. Now, this is where we need to add a layer of very important nuance. Many of us, myself included, grew up with the idea that the right way to warm up is to hold a deep stretch for 30 or 60 seconds. You'd see runners on the side of the road pulling their foot up to their butt and holding it there before they even took a single step. This is what's called a static stretch. Static meaning you hold a position without moving. And here's what the science, particularly from respected institutions like the Mayo Clinic, now tells us. Performing long static stretches on cold muscles, muscles that haven't been warmed up, is not the best approach. In fact, it can be counterproductive and may even slightly increase the risk of injury. It's like trying to stretch a cold rubber band. It's more likely to snap. The dynamic routine we just did is the warm-up. That's for before activity. Static stretching has a very valuable place, but that place is after your muscles are warm and pliable. This is when they are full of blood and much more receptive to being lengthened. So after you've done your 3-minute motion is lotion routine and then gone for a walk or done some gardening or played with the grandkids, that's the perfect time for a couple of targeted static stretches. Let's go over 2 of the most beneficial ones for common problem areas. First, a hamstring stretch for the back of your thigh. You can do this sitting on the floor or even on the edge of a sturdy chair. Sit up tall and extend one leg straight out in front of you, with your heel on the floor and your toes pointing to the ceiling. Keep a very slight bend in that knee. Never lock it out completely. Place your hands on your other thigh for support. Now, keeping your back straight, hinge forward from your hips until you feel a gentle stretch along the back of your extended leg. It should not be painful. This is not a competition. Just go to the point of a mild, comfortable tension. And then you hold it, breathe deeply, and try to relax into the stretch. You should hold this for about 30 seconds. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, holding a stretch for this duration is ideal for increasing flexibility. After 30 seconds, slowly come up and switch legs. The second one is a quadricep stretch for the front of your thigh. For this, you'll want to stand and hold on to that same wall or chair for balance. Stand on your left leg and bend your right knee, bringing your right foot up behind you. Reach back with your right hand and gently hold your ankle or the top of your foot. If you can't reach, you can loop a towel around your foot and hold the ends of the towel. Now, gently pull your heel towards your glute. You should feel a stretch in the front of your right thigh. It's important to keep your knees close together and to stand up straight. Don't lean forward. Again, hold this for 30 seconds, breathing the whole time, and then gently release and switch sides. Doing these 2 static stretches after your body is warm can, over time, help to improve your overall flexibility and range of motion. But remember the rule: dynamic for warming up, static for cooling down. This brings me to a message that is perhaps the most empowering of all, especially for anyone who feels intimidated by the thought of exercise. It is consistency over intensity. I want you to burn that phrase into your mind. Doing that gentle 3-minute motion is lotion routine every single morning is profoundly more effective and safer for your joints than doing one grueling, hour-long, high-intensity workout once a week. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You wouldn't skip brushing all week and then try to make up for it with one frantic hour-long brushing session on Sunday. It wouldn't work, and you'd probably do more harm than good. Your joints are the same. They thrive on regular, gentle attention. It's the daily habit that creates lasting change. It builds a foundation of mobility. It keeps the synovial fluid circulating consistently. It teaches your nervous system that this range of motion is safe and accessible. So release yourself from the pressure of feeling like you have to do something hard or painful for it to be effective. The goal here is not to leave you breathless and sore. The goal is to leave you feeling more mobile, less stiff, and more in control. That 3-minute investment each morning is a deposit into your health and independence account, and it pays dividends all day long. Now, while our stretching routine is the star of the show, there are two other supporting actors that play a crucial role in long-term joint health. Let's think of these as bonus tips that make your stretching even more effective. The first is maintaining a healthy weight. Now, I know this can be a sensitive topic, but we have to address it because the physics are undeniable. Your knees, in particular, are major weight-bearing joints, and research from Johns Hopkins Medicine has shown that for every extra pound of body weight you carry, you place about 4 extra pounds of pressure and stress on your knees when you walk, run, or climb stairs. So, losing just 5 pounds can feel like taking a 20-pound backpack off your knees with every step you take. Over the course of a day, that adds up to literal tons of pressure that you are sparing your joints. This doesn't mean you need to go on some extreme diet. It just means that being mindful of your weight is one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your cartilage from excess wear and tear over the long term. The second bonus tip is beautifully simple. Stay hydrated. Remember our star player, the synovial fluid? Well, what do you think it's mostly made of? Water. It's primarily composed of water, with other important substances like hyaluronic acid mixed in. If you are even mildly dehydrated, your body has less water available to produce this vital fluid. I remember a patient of mine, the lovely gentleman, who swore up and down that he drank plenty of fluids. But when we dug into it, his fluids were 3 cups of coffee in the morning and a can of soda in the afternoon. While those contain water, they also contain diuretics that can cause your body to lose water. When he made a conscious effort to swap just 1 coffee and that soda for 2 glasses of plain water, he reported back a month later that his baseline level of stiffness had noticeably improved. It wasn't a miracle. It was just simple biology. You're giving your body the raw material it needs to do its job. So keep a glass of water by your side throughout the day. Your joints will thank you for it. And a quick but important reminder as we approach our conclusion. While I am presenting this information from a medical perspective, this video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for personalized medical advice from your own doctor or physical therapist. The routine we've discussed is designed to be gentle and safe for most people, but every body is unique. The most important rule is to listen to your own body. A feeling of gentle stretching or muscle activation is good. Sharp, shooting, or intense pain is not. That is a signal to stop immediately. If you have a pre-existing joint condition, have had joint replacement surgery, or experience pain that worsens with this routine, it is essential that you consult with a healthcare professional before continuing. They can help you tailor a program that is perfect for your specific needs. This video is intended to be a safe, empowering starting point on your journey to better mobility. So let's bring it all together. Today, you didn't just learn a stretch. You learned a new way to think about your body. You learn that the stiffness you feel isn't a life sentence, but a signal. It's a call for gentle movement. You learn the phrase motion is lotion, and now you understand the science behind it. That simple, dynamic movements stimulate the production of your body's own natural lubricant, synovial fluid. That's a huge win. You've gained a powerful tool, a simple 3-minute routine that you can use every single morning to wake up your hips, knees, and shoulders, setting a positive tone for the entire day. That's a victory for your daily quality of life. You've also learned the crucial, nuanced difference between dynamic stretching for warming up and static stretching for improving flexibility after your muscles are warm. That knowledge empowers you to move more safely and effectively. You've been reminded that consistency is far more important than intensity, freeing you from the pressure of feeling like you have to do too much. And you've been equipped with 2 bonus strategies: managing your weight and staying hydrated, that support your joint health from the inside out. You are leaving this video today more knowledgeable and more in control of how you feel than when you arrived. That is the ultimate goal. You have the power to challenge that narrative of "this is just how it is" and replace it with a new one: "I understand my body, and I know how to help it feel better." Now, I would love to hear from you. Which part of this discussion was the biggest aha moment for you? Was it the motion is lotion concept? The difference between dynamic and static stretching? Or maybe just the realization that a short daily routine can be so effective? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Reading your experiences and insights is not only encouraging for me, but it creates a wonderful community of support for everyone watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into joint health and you want more practical, science-backed advice on how to age well and stay active, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. My hope is that you feel seen, understood, and most of all, empowered. Be well, stay active, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.